Letter time.
Letter time.
She says, okay, my dilemma. I am a 51-year-old widow, and recently I have been chased by a 44-year-old man. I am not concerned about the age. My concern is that he's using Snapchat more than regular text messages to communicate with me. Granted, we have been out on some dates, talked on the phone. We stay about an hour apart, and his area has a lot of trees. I am not used to Snapchat. He has his own business and does well for himself. I too am financially stable, meaning I have my own everything. I was married for 30 years and was spoiled by my husband. Not just materialistic, but time and attention and communication. I feel like he is unable to give that to me, and my sister says that I shouldn't compare him to my late husband because I have more free time than he does. Excuse me. I do like him, but I feel like I will be settling for less. Or should I just go with the flow?
First off, the Snapchat shit would be a little. That's a flag.
Yeah.
That's a flag.
That's something to pay attention to.
That's a flag. A person that just communicates with you generally or period only on social media should be a flag. Like, if the only way I'm communicating with you through Instagram or through Facebook Messenger or through Snapchat, it's not real.
Now, I would say after a certain time. Yeah. Because nowadays, I think the norm is to give out social media before you give out the number.
For sure.
So once you get past that trial era to where you feel like,
you should be talking, right.
I'm 60% sure he ain't gonna chop me up. Then I can see you moving from the apps to the actual phone and all of that.
And then I'm also taking into consideration their age.
For sure.
Because they're not social media babies.
For sure.
You feel me? 44 and 51 ain't social media. Like, you've discovered something in Snapchat, which we all have, like that the messages disappear. So I can say whatever the fuck I want to say, and then it disappears in case anybody looking for evidence.
And it snitch on you too. So if you screenshot or do whatever, it'd be like, hey, my man just
screenshotted your shit.
Snapchat, you riding bastards. But go ahead.
So that for one. I do agree you cannot compare relationships. Whatever relationship that you develop with a person is that relationship that you develop with that person. It's going to have its pros, it's going to have its cons. You may be in a relationship with a person, and again, condolences for you being a widow. Totally understand that, because you probably thought you was going to be with this person for the rest of your life. Things happen, life happens, now you got to be back out here in this dating world. Your husband was, from what we read, a great guy, spoiled you, did things he was supposed to do for 30 years.
Handled business.
For 30 years, which is incredible. So yeah, it's going to be hard to find that. You know what this is for me? It's the Coretta Scott King dilemma.
What's up?
How do you marry? Who do you marry after Martin?
Yeah.
After Martin died, who do you marry?
Yeah, the boys really. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
My old husband had a day. What the fuck you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
You gonna cure cancer or something?
You know, the first Monday after the 15th of January every year. That's my ex right there.
That's boo. That's boo day.
That's my ex.
Yeah.
That's
boo day.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
What you got?
Yeah. What you got?
Because the bank's open on your birthday. The banks is open on your birthday.
Yeah, what you gonna do? Yeah. So it's one of those situations where it's like, nigga, like you following the steps of a great man and him trying to get in there is gonna be really, really difficult, because again, you've been shown something that you can't be unshown, which is how you want to be treated as a person, as a woman, and all of those things. So my suggestion would be, go with the flow. If you start to see things from an immaturity standpoint, if you start to see things that start to look a little sneaky or start to look a little shady, again, question those. Don't just leave. Have that conversation. Question those, but also be honest with what your standards are now, and who you are as a woman now, and the things that you want out of a relationship now. But from your perspective, be realistic. What you had and what was is very rare. And to ask any man to walk into that and either meet it or outdo it, especially at this day and age and it's this early in the stages where y'all at, probably ain't realistic or even fair to him for you to do that to him. So go with the flow, chill out, see what he talking about, see what he do as far as applying pressure, and then just continue to have those conversations. That would be my advice. What you got?
I agree with you, cuz actually with everything you said. I would say go with the flow as well, because you said he seems to be doing well for himself. Now, him being a little busy, that just comes along with the territory.
Yeah.
That's one of the things where can be a compromise or something that you run the risk of. Right. Because I get, ladies, y'all want, the man to be this ideal guy, but a man who has things going on, it's gonna be some stretches where the time is not available.
Yeah.
Or the time is not satisfactory to you.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with that if you're gonna be with this gentleman.
Absolutely.
Because that's who he is, and that's what he's become, and that's what part of the attraction was. Mm-hmm. So the minute he scales back on that and does that, then things might change.
Right.
Then again, we got to be careful what we ask for. Sometimes that time is good enough. You even want more time, then you start realizing you kind of
annoying. You get on my nerves.
Like, I don't want to leave you, but hey, go back to work. Yeah. Go back to work. We good. I'm sorry. We good. Go back. So you run the risk of that. Another thing. This is part of the reason why some women, or just people in general, don't like starting over, because you got to get back familiar with this. You got to get familiar with a whole new person after you done spent. Y'all was married for what, 30 years? Mm-hmm. I'm sure y'all had customized yourself for each other.
Absolutely.
So now you got to hit the factory reset button and start trying to do this for a whole nother person. And ma'am, you 51.
Mm-hmm.
It's not old, but 51 is like athlete years.
It's
a 35-year-old athlete is considered old,
yeah,
as opposed to just a 35-year-old regular person.
Yeah, it's established.
So
is what
a 51-year-old looking at it from a relationship standpoint, that's starting over seems crazy.
Yeah. What's your favorite color?
Because the love, at 51, we shouldn't be doing that. 51 should be like, are you hungry, shave or unshave? Don't matter. Anywho, and then the risk you run, the love is going to be different. So I would not compare, because the two different gentlemen, yeah, the love is going to hit different. Yeah. That you're not going to get that old feeling that my man was giving you. I'm sorry. What you're going to have to do, what I suggest, you're just going to have to make adjustments, because he seems to be a good guy. You're 51. I would hate for you to, move on and you wind up being alone. Yeah. This is workable. That Snapchat, yeah, I would pay attention to that. But that Snapchat could just be, before he met you, that's just what he was into, what he was doing. So that's just what he used to.
Or he's being cautious too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when dating, especially with men, like I'm just as cautious as y'all are. I'm not finna give you my number. I'm not finna give you access to me. I don't know you neither.
Yeah, word. So I think it's something there.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's something there. I would just don't try to refrain from the comparison.
Yeah. Please
try to refrain from the comparison, and please don't.
It's the thief.
Don't let if you struggling with the comparing, keep it internal. Don't get this man the vibe that he's not good enough, or that you're comparing him, or that he's auditioning. Like that's not fair to him. But other than that, I say stick around. Stick around. An hour apart. Hey, for me, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Absolutely. I like a little distance.
I need a little distance.
I like a little space.
I need a little space.
Because not just for me, but for you too. Because I could work your nerves. Mm-hmm. I could be a handful from sometimes. Yeah. So that space is beneficial for you and I.
Yeah.
So I would just say, hey, ride that thing out.
Yeah.
And just pay attention. Yeah. Put the Snapchat in the back of your head. Yeah. But don't let that offset you and, derail whatever direction y'all headed in until further notice.